Good to see you guys, Facebook world, YouTubers. All right. Good morning, Saturday morning. Sean, what's up, my friend? I was looking for you online last night. Jay Watson, yo, man, can you hear me? All right. So if you're watching a replay of this, it's, I'm going to start in 2 minutes. You can probably fast forward and look for the start time there. I'm excited because I got a 4K GoPro, and I didn't get it set up in time for today. You can hear me great. I didn't get it set up in time for this class, but I was playing with it in my kitchen. It does look awesome. It's also, hey Steve, good man. It's also voice controlled, so I can say GoPro record, and then it'll just like come on and start recording, which is great. Also, it'll look fantastic on your TV. For those of you watching on TV, 4K is going to look really good. And also my intention, the real reason I got it is I want the content that I shoot for you guys to sort of be evergreen, like be good to look back on forever. And that includes not looking like it was from an 80s arcade game or something, when video quality improves and TVs improve and Facebook improves. So shooting in 4K is, I think, going to be important at a certain point, at least to me. If you think about me shooting self-defense moves, like our curriculum up to blue belt or something, I'd want to be able to use that for 10 years and not have it look, like I said, like it's, coming off of somebody's wristwatch from the 90s. Okay. So it sounds like looks like everybody can hear and see me. It's just about exactly 11 o'clock now. Today I'm going to cut over my notes. Today we're doing top of half, and we're going to talk about if your plan A, if you do the hip switch, and your plan A and B don't immediately work. Okay. In fact, we're actually going to pick it up where I left off Tuesday from your sort of plan B. And let me just reiterate what those are. We talked about if somebody catches one of my legs and I switch so that I'm here. Okay. Now I have a little bit of a leg backwards. That's for a little bit of base behind myself. Okay. And that's going to become important today, what we talk about today. But they've still got this leg. Plan A, after I switch my hips, is block, hip back, and drive my knee in, right? You can see Tuesday's class for sort of a lot of detail and reps on that, but that was the idea. The idea was that plan A is just switch, block their leg, back up, drive in, and we're back to mount, okay? They may have a little quarter guard going on, but no big deal. We can deal with that, okay? If that doesn't immediately work, like they have the death grip on your leg, so it's not easy to get that out of there. It does work in most cases. That's why it's plan A. Then we talked about, maybe I can bait this guy into opening his own legs, okay? How do I bait him into opening his own legs? Well, for one, getting him flat. He's trying to face me, and every time I can roll the bowl of his hips to face up and make him flat, he's going to want to turn to face me. But the only good way to turn to face me is to open his legs and put his leg down. And that's a moment for me when, if he opens his legs, that I can just step out or possibly step over, okay? And those are both things that we talked about. So can't back up. Maybe it's the death grip situation. So what I do is I get him flat. I see if I can't bait him into opening his legs to get himself back on his side. And I do that when he starts to get on his side, he starts to get away from me onto his side by stepping forward and sidling up. Again, I'm just reviewing. This is plan B I'm talking about right now. Plan A, back up and drive. Plan B, step in, make him flat, make him uncomfortable, make him want to open his legs and step out. The only thing we add a little pepper for plan B we talked about was if you can underhook this leg, right? Then it tends to, and you even bring his leg to his chest, then what happens is if I have your leg and I'm here, you reach under this leg, you bring my knee to my chest, and then you step and you roll me flat. I can't tell you how bad I want to get on my side right now, right? I can't get away this way. I can't do anything flat on my back. I want to face you real bad. What I'm going to do is open and try to force the foot to the floor to turn. And that's our moment. Oop, hold on. Okay. And that's our moment to step out, right? Scrunch them up, I flatten them out, and I step out, right? I noticed that the Facebook feed, just to interrupt myself for a sec, Facebook feed is a little bit fits and starts. If you want to click the YouTube link, I know that that's like super steady. So my apologies. I actually don't know why that would be happening. Okay. So plan A, back up and drive. Not working for some reason. I'm going to hook. I'm going to get close, get him flat. He opens his legs. I step out. That's plan A and B. That's all I need 99% of the time. I almost never do anything else. Okay. Trying to reconnect. Oh, it's brutal. All right. It's brutal. So today we're going to talk about when A and B are sort of giving you trouble. All right. Facebook, it's a little distracting to me because Facebook keeps flashing up here telling me it's failing. So why don't you guys switch over to YouTube? I'll probably give it a minute if it keeps happening. I'm actually going to shut off the Facebook feed. Okay. Today we're going to talk about one of the other really important things about our position, which is about this leg right here, my base, my grand base, this little stem here. As a bottom guy, if I'm holding onto your leg, especially if I'm one of these guys where I'm looking for the underhook, always from the bottom of half guard, if I have the underhook and I notice that behind you is only that little stem of base, then I might well not only try to get on my side, but I might try to bridge you off, right? So I'm here, I'm holding onto your leg, right? And if I can get an underhook in particular, some guys will do it even without, but especially if I hide my arm underneath your armpit, and I see that you just have like a little stem that's only, this long, I might bridge myself out of here, knock you over. And it's the mousetrap aspect to this particular position, top of half. Broadcast interrupted. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so the fact that I'm here and only have this little base here means somebody might try to knock me over backwards. This is why we want to be sort of aware with this foot. But here's what we don't want to do with this foot. Yes, it's a vulnerability to our Death Star position here, right? But what I don't want to do is this. Fix the vulnerability by really extending and driving in, because this ton of space I just created is good for their leg to come in. It's good for them to underhook my leg. So no good. So I do want to keep my knee up to their hip. I do want to do that. And I do want a short little step. In fact, I do want them to bridge. So that's the move we're going to talk about right now. When I'm in this side mount, this hat top half here, and somebody opens their legs to put their feet on the floor to bridge me off, that's the moment I step out, okay? And I would say this is like, plan C kind of, right? If I can't just drive across, if I can't bait them into opening their legs the other way, this will be what I do. Or it's up to them a little bit. What is their strategy? Are they going to try to turn on their side, or are they going to try to blast bridge? Right? And if they're trying to blast bridge me over, I need to be aware that it's a possibility, right? And it's a possibility because of the vulnerability of not having much base behind me. Just to reiterate. To bridge me, they have to open their legs. That's the moment I can take this leg out. But you can't just ho-hum it out, right? You have to put some juice into your response to their very juicy escape attempt, right? If somebody tries to bridge out, you can bet it's going to look like, boom, like an explosive big bridge. So I want my top game. I want to be aware that that's a possibility, and I want a good answer. And my answer, since it's a little bit timing dependent, right? It depends on that split second they open their legs and put their feet on the floor. I want my step over to be good. So this is the move that we're going to do, and then we'll do some reps. This is our first move of the day. That's like a new move from this week. First of all, when someone bridges, it's just important to know that when their feet are on the ground, they can't be in the air. So me stepping over, totally possible. I can totally step to mount, or I could step out to side mount. We'll rep both, but I want to talk about that idea that if their feet are on the ground, you can just throw your leg over. But let's talk about the upper body. I'm not very connected down here. They were connected to me. When they disconnect to put their feet on the ground, there's not a whole lot of connection down here. So what knocks me over when they bridge is their connection to my upper body, especially that arm under this armpit. So if I could disconnect my upper body, I won't take the whole brunt of their bridge. somebody's under me. They go to bridge. I actually want to do this. Oop, I'm going to open up. So I open, I try to get my chest as high as I can, and I guess my hips go as high as they can, right? So everything hips and up. I want to disengage from this person who's bridging. And it's a timing thing, like I said. But going into this position, you need to know that you're looking for it. So the reps should look like this. Let's do it. I'm going to disengage. So my hips come up and my chest hollows out. And then my foot, real quick, steps over their leg. That bridges. So the leg, they can't do anything about that. Okay. Those are the first two pieces, and there's one more piece, which is getting my arm in a better position. So disengage, step over, and then I have to get my arm out of there. So I'm going to give you a different angle on that so you see the full arm situation. I'm here. They go to bridge, disengage, step over, and get this arm out. How did I get this arm out? Well, I can't levitate, so you have to put your hand on the floor to get the other hand out. Okay? So it's here. Disengage, step over, and get my hand out. I don't always tell you to use speed, and I don't think this is a speed thing. It is a timing thing, but I will encourage you to practice it with some quickness. Okay? Come on top. Disengage, step. That's not slow-mo. That's about exactly what you want to do. Disengage and step, get your hand out. Doesn't have to be any faster than that. Although on replay, it always surprises me. It looks a little faster than it feels when I do it. So disengage, step, get your hand out. Disengage, step, get your hand out. Okay? Let's, for the next reps, and let's do like 10 reps on this. Start in mount. Mount, switch to half guard, and then be ready for the bridge. Disengage, step, take your hand out. Okay? Start in mount, get elbow escaped. Okay. Disengage, step, get your hand out. This is when they bridge. You're in mount, switch, disengage, step, get your hand out. I said the piece of this that a lot of people might miss is the disengage, and we've explained why. So let's make sure we include it. Switch to half guard. Picture an explosive bridge from the bottom. Disengage and step, and get your hand out. Switch, okay. Disengage. Oop. Probably your foot before your hand. That was my bad. So switch. Disengage, step, get your hand back. Here. Disengage, step, get your hand back. That's a good one. Okay, let's do 3 more. Switch to half guard. Disengage, step, get your hand back. The half guard. Disengage, step, hand back, hands back. To half guard. They go to bridge. Disengage, step, and get your hand back. That's going to mount. If you decide that side mount is where you want to be, or for some reason, and there is a reason, sometimes their leg, no, mount is the second one. So if I really want to step out to side mount, we're going to rep it. Sometimes there's a leg draped in my way, so I would disengage and I go to step backwards, but one of their legs is in my way, so I have to go to mount. Mount is the one you can always do. Side mount is the one that sometimes there's a leg hooking your leg, and you'll go to step back to side mount. You have to notice which direction to go to mount. But mount's the one that you'll always have a clear path because their far leg is bridged on the floor. And near leg might be bridged but interlaced with yours, so it might be hard to step out. Okay, because they might bridge on one leg. So let's step out to side mount. Okay, I switch to half guard. It's gonna be very much the same. Disengage and step back and drive in. When your foot, as soon as your foot hits the ground, almost turn your chest and be driving in with your hips, because they're gonna hit you, and it's gonna be force against force. But you have a very good kickstand behind yourself. At this point, you have a very good kickstand. When we started, you had this little dude back here. When you disengage and step out, now you have a big, strong kickstand. You can drive in. You just have to create that body tension driving forward. Okay, so your chest. Turn your chest to the floor and drive your hips in, I would say. Okay, so let's do a few of those. So switch to half guard, and let's say you want to step out to side mount. You've been waiting for your moment to get side mount on this guy. For some reason, you want side mount. Okay, disengage, step out, and immediately drive in. You almost want to hips forward and chest to the floor. Okay, let's do 3, 4 more of those. So switch, disengage, step out, drive. Switch to top half, they go to bridge. Disengage, step out to side mount, and drive. Switch to top half, they drive in. Disengage and step out and drive in. Go to top half, they bridge. Boom, disengage, step out, and drive in. Okay, that's how you're going to keep your side mount. And then just, I mentioned this before, but it's conceivable that your bottom guy is holding onto your leg. And when they bridge, this would be a good one to step out to side mount. When they bridge like this, it's not impossible that they bridge like this, still blocking your foot from stepping out. If they bridge like this, that'll be a higher level guy's going to bridge with the 1 foot, unless they really feel like they need the power. They're going to bridge with the 1 foot so they don't lose this connection with your leg. But look, when I bridge like this, nothing's blocking this. Your leg might be here. Stepping out, you can't do, but stepping to mount, nothing's in the way. So that's why I say going to mount might be the go-to you want to keep in mind, even if you want side mount, so that if you go to side mount, you can do a quick switch back to mount. Speaking of a quick switch back to mount, if you step out to side mount, assuming that you think mount is a better position than side mount, which I encourage you to think and believe and act and practice so that you have a good mount when you get to the high ranks and you don't embarrass yourself, like people I know very closely, right? Then when you disengage and step out to side mount, it actually is a perfect time to immediately step back to mount. You've disentangled your leg and you throw it right over mount. So I'm here. I disengage, step out to side mount, and immediately to mount. That's not a bad idea. But that's kind of coming in with a plan of 2 things. If you want to just focus on your 1 move at a time now, I would say, just to reiterate, plan A is back your hips up and drive your knee in. Plan B is get them flat, bait them to open their legs and take your leg out. And this plan C, I'll call it plan C, but really it's their strategy. If they don't try to get flat, but they try to bridge into you, they chose. Okay, and you just have to be ready from here to disengage and either go to mount or step out to side mount and really be driving in. Possibly step over right after. Okay, that's just a review up to this point. Now, knee cutting. I just wanted to talk about knee cutting. From our position, knee cut's a really fantastic way to be passing the guard and half guard because you have so much control of your guy. You're blocking where they can see, where they can move, and it's really almost an unstoppable movement. And it's one that you're going to see the highest level guys catch the highest level guys with when they are in this position. Okay, so knee cut passing. Let's say we're in this position here. Okay, and I decide that the knee cut's the way I'm going to go. They're not bridging. I'm not getting in the responses I want. You notice that some of the things that we've talked about so far, except for this one, right, involve a mistake of theirs. Well, maybe they never make a mistake. Maybe, and it doesn't take a high-level guy to do that. It could be a low-level guy who doesn't even know they want to turn on their side or could bridge into you. They might not even know or notice. Some people are just going to get the death grip on your leg and then never open, never try to turn on their side. And it's just going to be your choice now to clear not this top leg. You couldn't clear it. It's like death grip, who knows, super heavy, super tight. And they're not falling for any of like sort of the bait that's built in, that's inbuilt with this position of trying to turn on their side to open their legs or bridging. So what you do instead is you go over the bottom leg. That they're holding onto my leg with 2 legs. If I can't push the top one off my knee, I might have to get my knee over the bottom one. And that's where the knee cut comes in. Okay. So on any knee cut, you want to have an underhook on one armpit, and I'll show you 2. You want an underhook on the far armpit, on one armpit. Put your head on the other side, and then cut your knee toward the head side. So you need an underhook, your head on the other side, and your knee goes to that second side. So we're going to create that here. Now, if I can get the underhook on their far arm, they're on the ground here, their head's in here. So their armpit's right here. We might get in a pummeling war here, but if I get the underhook, and it can be hand on the floor, or it can be I cup their shoulder, then I'm going to do this. Let's get frame a little more. I get the underhook, And now I'm going to open this up so I can put my head on the other side of their head. Their head is my hand. Their head is this. So I'm going to take this out and put my head here. Okay. So get the underhook here or here. I'm going to do this just because it's going to be easier to mime. Take this out and put my head on the ground here. And now I'm going to tripod up. From here, I can cut now my knee across this side. Grab their arm, pull in. They might still have my foot, and I can sort of kick it off. Okay? So switch to half guard here. I get the underhook. I put my head on the other side, butt up, knee cut, and then you might need to kick it free with the other leg. And I like pulling up the arm here. You get that nice high Kesikatami under their armpit. So let's wrap it together. Now, switch to top of half. Okay. Now, underhook with your free hand, which is my right hand. Free hand goes under the armpit. Put your head on the other side and get your butt way up in the air, straight legs. And now you're going to cut your knee through the space between your head and your leg. And you might be caught here. Kick free and go into a high Kesikatami. Do that a couple times. Switch to top half. Underhook. Take this elbow out of the picture so you can get your head to this side and get your butt up. Right? When you're good, you'll do it in one movement. Okay. Now cut your knee toward the head side, picking up the arm, trying to get high up into a kesa. If you're miming, if you're mimicking my miming, but can't picture exactly everything, don't worry about it. It'll become clear when we do it in class, which is obviously the next level of understanding, is doing it against the person. Okay, so switch to our top half. My free hand underhooks. My head goes to the other side, for which I have to take this hand out. Put my head here, and my butt goes up. Now my knee on the non-head side cuts across between my knee, between my head and my foot. So I'm here, and this one's going to cut right through here. And I'll kick the foot free using my, they might still have a little grip here, and I'm going to kick it off to get kesa. I'm going to do 3 more. Let's do it. Switch to top half, underhook, head to the other side, butt up, knee cut. All right. Now switch to top half, get an underhook, head to the other side, and your butt up, and then knee cut. Take that free. Last one. I'm in mount. They catch this leg. I switch to look at it. I underhook here, put my head on the other side, butt up, knee cut. Kick free. Okay. So that's the knee cut. So the knee cut, like I said, fantastic way to be passing guard and half guard. And actually, the last move I'm going to work today is the wrong side knee cut. So I can get the underhook and cut this knee across. This the captured leg. This leg's captured, and that's why I switched. So their legs are holding this leg. But I actually can get the other knee across here, across their stomach. We just have to set up the same thing. Like this knee could come across to side mount, but they'd be getting my back now because I didn't get an underhook. So let's talk about all the pieces we need in place. Here, switch to top half. Okay, now, if I can bring, so this hand is going to go, which is the elbow that's trapping their head here. I'm going to bring my hand across the stomach, across their stomach, and under this arm here for that. So their head is here, their arm is here. I'm going to cut underneath and get underneath the arm, put my head down. Right now I have an underhook and my head on the opposite side. And now I just need to knee cut toward my head, remembering that this leg is still caught. I'm just going to get some height and cut this knee in between. Kick that through. I have my underhook, and I actually can kick this up here. So it's a wrong side knee cut. It may not look like the airspace over their stomach is free when they're holding my leg because everything seems tight here. But if I can get the underhook on the near side, which is right here, put my head down here, and come up tall, they're still holding here, and I can go right across their stomach, cut this through, kick this off, wrong side knee cut, only because it's less expected. I might do it even more than the regular side. Okay, so let's do a few more. I'm in now. I switch to top half when they catch my leg, right? Now, I'm going to swing this hand right behind myself. I pivot, you notice on this elbow here. This is the elbow that's blocking their head. Pivot on it, go across their stomach, get that underhook on this side, put your head down, posture up, and then this knee, you got to bring it as close to your chest as you can to cut it in. But once you get it in, you're good. Keep this off, and you're free to go up to a kesa. It's that wrong side knee cut. Okay, let's do 4 more of these. I'm going to switch. I'm going to get the underhook on that side, put my head down, hips up, cut my knee in, kick this off here. Switch to top half. This, rotate on this elbow, get the underhook here, put my head on the ground, pop my hips up, and cut this knee with your knee as close to your chest as you can, cut it in. You'll need that just to get across the belly, but you will be able to. Switch, underhook, head down, butt up, knee cut. You need an underhook, you need your head down, butt up, knee cut. Underhook, head, butt up, knee cut. That's going to be the recipe, kind of whichever side you go to. Okay, 2 more. I'm going to switch. I need the underhook, head down, butt up, knee cut. Last one. Switch. Okay. So that really completes the system in my mind for all the main moves that I do that are complete moves and not just weird concepts and transition switches. If I'm doing a move from top of half, and I usually am, I'm doing one of these moves. I'm either, just for a total review, I'm either clearing and driving my knee, underhooking their legs so they goof and I can step out. They might bridge and I disengage, step over and get mount. Or if it's just not going to happen, this top leg isn't going to be cleared by my effort or by theirs, by mistakenly opening, then I'm going to get over the bottom leg and I'm going to do it by knee cutting. Right? Knee cut this way, or I can knee cut this way. So that's the whole review, basically, of this half guard 2, or of like PMA half guard or hip switched half guard, whatever you like to call it. Okay, guys, that's the whole system from, like I said, top of half 2. If you want to look at Thursday's class, which was April 30th class, which is on YouTube and it's on Facebook for you guys, I talked all about what do you do if you're in this position and they catch your leg and you didn't or can't switch your hips. What do you do from 2 knees down? Right? Which is honestly half guard 1, the more common one that people are looking for. We're just forcing half guard 2 as the top guy. But if you end up 2 knees down on top, what do you do? Just check out the April 30th. There's 30 days in April, right? Oh, yeah. Check out the April 30th class that we did on 2 knees down, top of half. And stay tuned. And thanks for coming in on a Saturday. I hope you have a good rest of your day and weekend. Look for the Monday brain dump. I already shot it. We're doing back attacks. So it's a lot of back entries and maintenance and attacks. And I look forward to talking to you more about the back next week. We'll see you guys. Take care. Take care. And you. Later. Are you sure? Oh, I'm sure.